Minnesota Wild 2, Anaheim Ducks 3. Very, very disappointing loss here this afternoon for the Minnesota Wild. As Michael Russo pointed out, they have now dropped another game in which they led in the third period, and just trying to look that up here. They have had so many games where they have let points get away because they've been tied or leading in the third period. That is their 23rd lost point in the standings this year. 15th game they have lost when they have been leading or tied in the third period. Simply unacceptable from the Minnesota Wild. So there you go. It just feels like these lost points are going to catch up to them at some point this season, and I don't know. You just have that feeling that they're going to get to the last game of the regular season, and we're going to see all these points come back to bite them. They're going to miss out by 1 point. So that's how it feels right now. So, Devin Dubnyk, I liked his bounce back after Thursday's game against Washington. He was very good, and he kept the Wild going in the shootout as long as he could. Also, I hate to see such crucial games decided in the shootout. It's such a ridiculous thing, and 3-on-3 has really cut down on the number of shootouts, but I still hate that these games are being decided by shootouts because it stinks. Let's be honest. I'd take more overtime 10 out of 10 times over it. It's the NHL, and they like to make porous decisions. Anyway, other positives, just trying to go through here for the Wild. Nick Seeler had a very nice game. Been really impressed with him since his call-up from Iowa. Really kind of stapling Mike Riley in the press box right now, and that's not good as the Wild are trying to trade Mike Riley. So, I mean, it's good that Seeler has stepped up and has played really well, but when you're trying to trade a defenseman, they're not exactly you can't exactly show them off when they're sitting in the press box. So not overly great for Riley, but we'll see what happens when Jonas Brodin comes back. Other positives from this game, I don't know if I have any. The Wild were just so passive in this hockey game. They just pass after pass. Too many shots passed up on. Jason Zucker had a 2-on-1 in the overtime, and he tried to pass it across, and it was deflected away. And Jason Zucker is probably the closest thing this team has to a goal scorer, and he needs to shoot there. And he's having a career year, but he's got to take that shot. And this isn't just the first game of this. He's been the last 3-4 games. He's been like that, passing up on a shot to pass. And that's not what this team needs right now. This team needs less passengers and more drivers. He needs to shoot there. And Nino Niederreiter, he was not seen in the third period. He was put down in the fourth line after taking some penalties early on. It's tough to say. I pointed out on Twitter, I agreed with Boudreau kind of sending a message like, you got to quit taking penalties. I think that's like his 5th in like 3 games or something. It's unacceptable. But also, as our friend Tony from Hockey Wilderness points out, you got to wonder, how his lower body injuries that he's accumulated this year are kind of hampering him. So that's something to maybe keep an eye on. But just not a good thing to see him get benched. And so I'm just trying to think of some other things that maybe maybe have missed from this game. That's, again, I can't state enough how crucial of a loss that is. But that's just kind of how it's been all year. And as I said, you just kind of get this feeling that maybe it will end like that this season. All these lost points. The Wild are down on the homestand. They go 2-1-2 on this homestand. Very underwhelming. You can't have 5-game homestands where you're trying to make ground in the standings and win 2 out of 5. Unacceptable. So that's just not going to cut it. Now they go out on the road where they have been god-awful all season long. So I'm not overly optimistic about what we're going to see in the next 3 games, but I guess we'll see what happens. So that can probably do it for me. I've gone on long enough. Do check out our most recent podcast, episode 137. Recorded last Sunday, hit a lot of trade deadline topics. Ben and I will be recording tomorrow, episode 138, and we will have plenty more trade deadline topics for you to go over. And do look for that. Also, next week on Zone Coverage, we will probably have some coverage for you of the Girls State High School Hockey Tournament. Looking forward to that, so do look for that as well. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for us, and we will see you